you out, Hedwig. I'm not allowed to use magic outside of school.
But there's a key in the lock. Have you already forgotten how these things work?
Even let you have Dudley's second bedroom, purely out of the goodness of our hearts.
Why did you let him have the bedroom? Yes, I know the books explain it, but the movies felt they could just let that slip by, so I'm marking it off for that.
I'll be in my bedroom, making no noise and pretending that I don't exist.
Oh, come on, it's not like you'd actually want to be downstairs with them anyway, right?
Dobby almost spoke ill of his family, sir.
Almost?
I mustn't be angry with Dobby. Dobby hoped if Harry Potter thought his friends had forgotten him, Harry Potter might not want to go back to school, sir.
How exactly did Dobby find the time to intercept all these letters? Did he set up some type of mail forwarding with the owls? Was he just hanging around Privet Drive all summer just waiting for them? How could the Malfoys not notice this?
I can't. Hogwarts is my home.
You still could have just said it to make Dobby leave you alone. It's not like you're signing some magical contract by stating you won't go.
You're never gonna see those freaky friends of yours again.
Freaky friends? How would a car at this distance through a closed window wake you up?
You better stand back. Let's go!
Do you always have a rope with a hook attached to the car? How could they know this window would be barred? He survives this completely unscathed. So the hands on the clock indicate where the members of the family are. Ron, Fred, and George are moving back to the home position, but why aren't the hands of Molly, Ginny, and Percy already there? These knitting needles aren't accomplishing anything.
Harry, you must know all about muggles.
Tell me, what exactly is the function of a rubber duck?
Of everything you could question about muggles, rubber ducks are at the top of the list.
There's only one place we're going to get all of this.
Exposition Lane?
Diagon Alley.
Yep. So Ron takes a handful of powder, then we see him just pinching a bit here, then he goes back to a handful.
Diagon Alley.
Oh, come on. That wasn't even close to Diagon Alley. Even the books explain he simply coughed as he said it because of the powder. Why did they have to change it?
Oculus Reparo.
I thought you couldn't do magic away from Hogwarts.
Come on, everyone's been so worried.
Oh, Harry, thank goodness we hoped you'd only gone one grade too far.
Oh yeah, I can't get over how concerned they seem to be. Now that was some sleight of hand work if I've ever seen any. Where did the diary come from? Once again, Dobby somehow finding time to mess with Harry.
The invisibility booster must be faulty.
Can magic be faulty? There is no way he lifts Harry back in, especially since...
Your hands all sweaty.
Seriously, how does a magic car break down?
So a house elf shows up in my bedroom. We can't get through the barrier to platform 9 3/4. We almost get killed by a tree.
Not even a half hour into this, and already we're getting a recap? Hey, you're the one that stuck your finger in its mouth.
Say it. I'm doomed.
Given what we know about wands, I'm betting they can't just be taped back together.
Ron, is that your owl?
You did not see him all the way up there. And even if you did, there is no way you could identify whose owl that is. No reason to open it here, man. Run for it.
How dare you steal that car?
While I do appreciate the time they took to include the words in the physical letter itself, it's quite clear some of it's being skipped. Did she just raspberry her son?
I didn't get rid of the band and banshee by smiling at them.
Although I can't stand Lockhart as a character, the casting for this role was absolutely perfect.
Pesky pixie pestanobi!
You know you're a fraud, so why would you even risk a lesson like this knowing you can't actually handle it?
At least no one on the Gryffindor team had to buy their way in. They got in on pure talent.
No one asked your opinion, you filthy little mudblood.
But she isn't wrong.
Eat slugs.
Since when can a second year cast spells without saying them?
Let's take him to Hagrid.
Of course. No need to take him to Madame Pomfrey or anything. Sure, let's take him to Hagrid.
Dirty blood. Why, there isn't a wizard alive today that's not half-blood or less.
Actually, there are several pureblood families, including the Weasleys. This area was completely deserted, and now we have the entire student body showing up from all different directions. Where are they coming from? Where are they headed?
She's not dead, Argus. She has been petrified.
You can tell this just from looking at her.
As I understand it, Madam Sprout is a very healthy growth of mandrakes.
Of course, the exact plant needed to cure Mrs. Norris is exactly what the second years are learning about. This entire movie is run by plot conveniences.
Now, today we will be transforming animals into water goblets.
I can't even imagine how difficult it must be to have to read blackboards like this on a regular basis. That's right. Nobody do anything about it. Really? It still took a student to do something about this?
In light of the dark events of recent weeks, Professor Dumbledore has granted me permission to start this little dueling club, to train you all up, in case you ever need to defend yourselves.
And just how is this little dueling club supposed to prepare them for the monster in the Chamber of Secrets?
An excellent idea to show them that, Professor Snape, but if you don't mind me saying, it was pretty obvious what you're about to do. And if I had wanted to stop you, it would have been only too easy.
Of course, because why wouldn't you prefer to be thrown back like that?
Perhaps it would be prudent to first teach the students to block unfriendly spells, Professor.
On the count of 3, cast your charms to disarm your opponent. Only to disarm.
Doesn't teaching involve teaching? Aha. So it seems this club only serves as a way to inform everybody that Harry is a Parselmouth.
You were there. You heard me. I heard you speaking Parseltongue.
You heard him speaking Parseltongue? If you could hear him, why can't you hear the basilisk in the pipes? Sure, you wouldn't be able to understand it, but you should still be able to hear it, right?
Be in your bonnet, Potter.
I was just wondering if you put me in the right house.
You would have done well in Slytherin.
You're wrong.
If you're so confident, why did you ask?
They can carry immensely heavy loads, and their tears of healing powers.
Naturally, these two facts just happen to come in handy later.
I filled these with a simple sleeping draught.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Who holds cupcakes like this?
How thick could you get?
My thoughts exactly, Ron.
I didn't know you could read.
Marks awarded for this fantastic ad-lib.
I was just sitting in the U-bend thinking about death. And it fell through the top of my head.
Can anybody tell me why they couldn't find someone younger than 37 to play this young teenage witch?
My name is Harry Potter.
Hey, the ink disappeared in the book. Clearly I must introduce myself. Gotta admit, Voldemort had fairly decent penmanship.
I had to see for myself if the rumors were true.
This was 50 years ago? How old is Dumbledore?
Madden Harry? You wouldn't be talking about me now, would you?
No.
Way to play it cool. I know Ginny was desperate to find the diary, but did she really think it was sewn into the mattress?
All students will be escorted to each lesson by a teacher. No exceptions.
Each student will be escorted by a teacher? The school does not have enough teachers for this. Is it normal to have a fire going at the base of the stairs to your home?
What's that for?
Oh, nothing. I was expecting. It doesn't matter.
Really, who were you expecting? The Beast? I don't think it would knock on the door. And I can't think of a single person who would be knocking that you would feel the need to defend yourself from.
That's Dad's boss. Cornelius Fudge. Minister of Magic.
As we learned from the first movie, the cloak is not soundproof, so I don't think it would be wise to talk with him standing right in front of you. How many spiders were in that hut?
But I cannot deny them fresh meat when it wanders so willingly into our midst.
So willingly to defend Hagrid? Does this count for nothing? So this car now has a mind of its own? Should I call him Herbie? How long has she been here, and no one noticed this crumpled up piece of paper?
Because no one did look it in the eye. Not directly, at least. Colin saw it through his camera. Justin must have seen the basilisk through nearly headless Nick. Nick got the full blast of it, but he's a ghost. He couldn't die again. And Hermione had the mirror. I bet you anything she was using it to look round corners, in case it came along.
And Mrs. Norris?
There was water on the floor that night. She only saw the basilisk's reflection.
Oh, come on, there is no way a 12-year-old figures all of this out. Especially not so quickly.
All students are to return to their house dormitories at once.
Wait. let's jump back here for a moment.
All students will return to their house common rooms by 6 o'clock every evening.
So all students are to be back in their dorms by 6 o'clock. But since all students will be escorted to their classes by a teacher, are the students really allowed to just freely roam the halls otherwise?
Who is it that the monster's taken, Minerva? Ginny Weasley.
Can I ask how she already knows this?
After all that stuff you did in your books?
Books can be misleading.
You wrote them.
Say something. Harry, say something in parcel tongue.
He learned to control it? The only other time we've seen him use Parseltongue, he wasn't even aware of it. Now he can speak it at will?
Sure you don't want to test it first?
You have no idea how far a drop this is, or what's at the bottom. You could have just pushed him to his death. His spell knocked him back so hard he caused a cave-in, but this knocked him out? I understand Parseltongue is quite rare, but I find it hard to believe that there wasn't something specific that needed to be said in Parseltongue to open this. That's right, just toss your wand aside.
Give me my wand, Tom.
You won't be needing it.
I'd have to disagree.
How is it that a baby with no extraordinary magical talent was able to defeat the greatest wizard of all time?
Yes, we're about to find out this is Voldemort, but that doesn't explain how a memory preserved in a diary knew about the events that have taken place since then.
Albus Dumbledore is the greatest sorcerer in the world.
Dumbledore's been driven out of this castle by the mere memory of me.
Yes, but it's not as if Dumbledore just ran away. It wasn't really his choice.
The process is nearly complete. Lord Voldemort will return.
As a 16-year-old?
Stop. No!
It's a good thing this works out, because stabbing a book with a basilisk fang seems like an odd idea.
Amazing! This is just like magic!
How far down was the chamber?
He transferred some of his powers to you.
Voldemort transferred some of his powers to me.
That is what he just said. I know you're already dirty, but of all the places you could have grabbed the sword, you chose the blood-covered blade. Why did he bring Dobby? Not once have we seen Lucius with Dobby until it's convenient to the plot.
Who was it?
Voldemort.
Uh-huh. Yes, you are the one that planned this, but at least show a little surprise.
I wonder if I could have that.
Considering how important this diary is to figuring out how to finally destroy Voldemort, I'm rather surprised Dumbledore would just let Harry have it.
Master has given Dobby a sock.
What? I didn't...
Master has presented Dobby with clothes. Dobby is free.
It's just that simple? He doesn't have to formally present clothes? I can't help but wonder how many house elves have been lost to laundry.
You lost me, my servant!
Avada? Were you just about to use the killing curse on Harry right outside Dumbledore's office over losing a house elf?
Harry Potter freed Dobby.
If you know it wasn't actually Lucius that freed you, how are you still free? If we were to say who our favorite characters are from Harry Potter, Dobby would be up there for most of us. Am I the only one that can't figure out why a hug was too awkward for them?
The owl that delivered my release papers got all lost and confused. Some ruddy bird called Errol.
Did Hagrid already know it was Ron's owl? Or did Errol introduce himself?